Hey, it's Aaron, the Metal Theologian, and I kind of want to hype this record a little bit because I just kind of rediscovered it. It's so fucking good. And it's on the Guardian label, but it's actually one of the least expensive records on this label too. So I mean, I'm not going to say that you can go out and get one cheap, but compared to like what this label is known for when it comes to like the Satan single and the Hollow Ground single and those really fucking badass expensive ones, this one's kind of a deal compared with those. And this record is so fucking good. So this is Battle Axe, and they made a few albums actually after this too, and the albums are good. The first one's called Burn This Town, and the second is called like Power to the Universe or something, and they're both really enjoyable. But this fucking record, actually I'm gonna flip it because I want to play the other song. This record is so hot though. I swear this is easily as good as anything Saxon ever did. But like, you know, I think the way people talk about Raven, they would talk about Battle Axe if these guys had made an album that lived up to this, because this is just so fucking good. Actually, I think this is better than Raven is kind of the point, you know? It's like you want to compare this to a band like Diamond Head, I get it, but some of y'all love Raven more than I do. And I think they're great, too, don't get me wrong, you know? Also, since I'm hyping shit anyways, sometimes people ask about what's playing in the background today. It's this channel called Red Cow Entertainment. And it's kind of my new favorite, like, channel. I've been fucking binging on this shit. It's ridiculous. So yeah, if you're curious what's going on, I'll let you check it out for yourself. But tell them the Metal Theologian sent you. Because they're not all that. They're not like huge or anything. You know what I mean? It's like 16,000 subs or something. So it's like attainable. You know what I mean? Anyway, isn't this fucking good? Listen to this. So I've been listening to a ton of new wave British heavy metal, but I kind of feel like I've been showing the 45s a lot lately. So I pulled out some comps. I figure we can talk about those. But I have a drink here too. And I don't really have a straw. It's like one of these fucking bubble tea drinks. You see that? I did one of these a while ago, but this is a matcha flavor. It's like that kind of green tea shit. I'm sure this is delicious, but like when you put those little like, you know, the tapioca pearls, the boba, and you stick them in a canned drink. Maybe I've just never had the right size straw, but it never seems to work quite right, so. I might like start out just drinking runny shit and then like getting a mouthful of tapioca at the end for your entertainment, but maybe the straw will work, but I think it's probably gonna be too small. Yo, that straw is way too big for the little fucking pearls. You see that? There's one of them. It's like not even close. Yeah. Well, it's pretty good. It's sweet. You definitely taste the tea. You know what I mean? It's also definitely not a soda, so. Yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to drink this during the fucking video. Well, it's tasty, but, you know, it'll do in a pinch, but fundamentally, the fresh ones you're going to get from the store, that cost a few bucks more, are going to be a lot better than that, so. I'm just going to ditch that fucking straw. Alright, so what are we talking about? We're talking about how fucking great Battle Axe is, man. This is their signature song, too, you know? Alright, so anyway, you know what record I really dug the hell out of, but I felt like hyping, because these aren't very expensive either. It's actually both these BBC shows, but this is the one I've played a lot less than the other one, the Friday Rock Show. This one seems to be a little bit better known, but neither of these is all that rare or anything like that. But they're really interesting comps, man. It's like alternative like versions of shit in early songs. Every song rocks. Like part of what put me on this was I was texting with Scott Waters a few days ago, and he was asking me about Spider. And I was like, you know, I've never really spent any time with Spider. They're a little bit boogie woogie sort of for what I normally go for in a band. But I never skip past them on comps either, you know? I always kind of, they're always, I mean, they're never bad. It's so good, fucking Battle Axe. I So yeah, I was gonna pull out all my records that had Spider songs on it. It was a lot fewer than I realized. So anyway, that's good. The Black Axe song is a little bit weak. You know, this sort of weird ballad about Belfast by Witchfind, I think might be their best song, honestly. And I like that band a lot too, but I've always just really liked that tune, you know, even though it's, if you wanted to criticize it, you could certainly find reasons to do it. I'm just going to play the other side of this fucking thing. So yeah, on the first one, I mean, what sort of put this on my radar as much as anything was Eye of the Storm by Sweet Savage, because that was on that comp that Lars put out. So I got this really early on when I started getting into this shit. Then it has that song, the Don't You Ever Leave Me, the Diamond Head song, but it's sort of a more raw version than what eventually came out in a single by itself, let alone on that second full length, and I kind of appreciate that too. The Last Flight song isn't bad at all. Yeah, and of course I love Demon with One Hell of a Night on here. So it's a really fun comp, you know what I mean? It's like not a whole lot of like world-class shit, but just a really easy to play, easy to listen to record, you know, that you can just sort of enjoy. Same thing with this one, man. This one has sort of less stuff that I know on it, but like the shit on this thing you used to not care for so much has grown on me with repeated listens. So like it has Johnny Cool by Praying Mantis, you know? And, you know, Praying Mantis were never the heaviest band, you know? The first couple singles are really good, but that's about it, you know? Actually, but that's not true, because I've really come to appreciate like the full length of that. They're just not rocking in the way you would hope when they have a cover that looks like this. You know? You want that to fucking rock. And this record kind of does. In fact, I'll put it on next. But this one, this cheated one, does not live up to that cover at all, you know, as far as the heaviness. Anyway, that song's really grown on me, Johnny Cool. It was a B-side of the Soundhouse Tapes 45, which I don't have the cover for, but that's one of the records you want to get by them if you're gonna. Anyway, Samson, Taurus, Trespass I didn't used to care for either, but I've really come around on that band too. I used to think they were kind of wimpy, you know? Really this whole thing rocks except maybe the Gillan song, which kind of feels a little self-indulgent and not really out of place in terms of what the band is doing, but in terms of what he's doing, you know? So, it doesn't sound like anachronistic or anything really damning like that. It just sounds like, it kind of sounds like he's the old guy in the record, which is funny because he was probably like 35, you know? And then of course Angel Witch with Extermination Day. Some classic shit, man. Yeah, here's another comp that's kind of an obvious one. I sort of showed it briefly at the beginning, but you know what's funny is I bought this at Reckless Records in San Francisco a long time ago, and I played it a lot. I was like really into it, and then I started getting more like new wave British heavy metal shit. And I sort of got to a point where I was like, oh, well, most of the stuff that's on here that's really good I have on something else. So I let go of the record. Like I kind of felt like I outgrew it. And then I was like, dude, what the fuck was I thinking a few years later? And so I had to send away to get another copy. So it just goes to show. Keep your metal records. Unless you sell them to me. Same deal with this one, you know. You get upset about like Breakdown, which is like Colin Towns doing this weird like keyboard thing for a lot of it. But it really doesn't sound out of place. It sounds more like it's sort of on the periphery of a movement that hadn't really found a unified sound at all yet, you know? And that's why people say they like this stuff so much. I mean, it's part of what makes this era so cool, you know, in such a small area as Great Britain, you know? Another thing about this comp is the songs on it are a little bit off the beaten path for the sound of some of the bands performing them, if that makes sense. Like the song Fantasia doesn't sound like Sledgehammer in the same way that the song Sledgehammer does. You know what I mean? And that's the song that you tend to see on a lot of comps all over the place, you know? Same thing with the White Spirit and Back to the Grind. Cheetah is the song where it's almost a joke how many compilations that song appeared on, you know? And it's a great tune, you know? I love that key sound in that. But but Back to the Grind, even though that was the other side of the single, it just has a it sounds different. You know, I don't really know how else to say it than that. Maybe a little bit more, to say poppy is probably too pejorative, but, you know, a little more hooky and a little less just sort of heavy and rocking, you know. Maybe what I'm really trying to say is a little less Deep Purple-ish. So, yeah, this is the song Praying Mantis, man. It's a great signature song. There we go. And this thing isn't all that hard to find either. Especially if you really take a copy with the cover in this kind of condition, you know? That's really one of my best secrets for fucking collecting records. Like, people freak out over some of the records that I have, but a lot of it is, you know, being willing to take a lesser condition one, you know? Of course, I'll take a nice copy of something if I can, if I have a choice, you know? But a lot of the way that I get on these, you know, I get the ones that the serious collectors pass on, so I get to listen to them and enjoy them, and, you know, it's great stuff. But I don't want to spend too much time going into the money aspect of it, you know. This is another cheap one. I like to talk about the cheap ones. Anyway, really solid record. Great Raven song, by the way. Does kind of, I thought they were inferior to Battle Axe before. If there's one band that really sounds like themselves on this record, it's Diamond Head. Like that, and it's the first song too. It's electric. It's like unmistakable. After that song, I almost feel like the record has more sort of a sound and a tone to it than the individual bands do. That's only true to a limited degree, but it kind of vibes that way for me. Except for the Diamond Head song. That's like, okay, here's a Diamond Head, and now we're listening to comp. It's almost like Diamond Head was the opening act for the rest of the compilation. I don't know. Anyway, Brute Force is a classic. I just hyped it really hard. It's probably a $10 record, so there you go. If you want to start checking some of this shit out, that's a really good place to go. And I said it before, and I'll say it again, man. If you're collecting like new wave British heavy metal shit, the best stuff is on 45s and on comps. That's where all the best shit is, I'm telling you. And it's more of a pain in the ass to collect. But like, you get beyond the Iron Maiden and the Venom and the shit that's, you know, kind of borderline anyway. Maybe not those first two Maidens, but you know, Venom. You get away from the big bands, and that's where it all is, you know. Most of the full lengths on Guardian, you know, they're listenable, but they're not great, you know. And same thing with Neat, man. Like that Jaguar LP, I still think it's overrated, man. But I think it's overrated because people really want to like it because they want it to sound as good as Jaguar did on their singles, you know. That maybe sound a little more harsh than I meant it to, but I think you know what I'm saying. Another great comp. This one isn't on new wave British heavy metal. It's more like the evil shit, actually. It has 2 Cloven Hoof songs. It has a song by Crucifixion, Witchfinder General, 2 songs by Venom, and then Dr. Fives by Angel Witch, which is just a short little instrumental. It's kind of a weird choice to put in a comp, you know? And then it has a re-recording of Come to the Sabbath by Black Widow, only they're just credited as Widow here. And I'll tell you, the original's a lot better, but, you know, it's cool. Again, it's a really good comp overall. Not necessarily a bunch of rare shit on here. Probably the oddball is this band called Blood, because they were like a punk band or something, but, it's funny because that song, Incubus, rocks. I mean, knowing that they're a punk band, if you hear it, you can go, yeah, I can kind of hear that they're sort of punk, you know? But other than that, they really kind of rock, sort of like that Overkill song on that Metal Massacre comp. You know, Overkill from LA. It was the band that was more of a punk band. Like, their album was really punk sounding, but that compilation appearance just fits right in with the rest of the record. Yeah, this is like all digressions, this video. This is what happens when I don't have anything specific to talk about. Oh, here's what I wanted to hype. I knew I was forgetting something important. This is kind of a new arrival for me. I've talked about Dawn Watcher before, but I just got their fucking second 45. And this is so fucking good, man. Yeah, this is Salvador's Dream. I think their first one's brilliant already. And it's kind of been fitting with the theme of keyboard shit, since that's kind of come up already here. Yeah, the keyboard playing on this song is just bonkers. I fucking love it. to show this guy again. It's a great fucking single, man. And it looks so unassuming. Wait to see the band photo in the back. Isn't that fucking great? Yeah, I just got this first one within the last year or so, but it has that cool label too, the logo. It's Hall of Mirrors and Spellbound. I'm pretty sure I played Hall of Mirrors on earlier episodes. Yeah, it's so good, man. Yeah, here's another one that I pulled out a few days ago because of a conversation I was having with my kid. I haven't played this in a long time, but this is the first Gun record. And here we go. Usually I talk about metal, we have to sort of skimp on the mustaches, but not in this video. But yeah, I mean, this record's probably known as much for its early Roger Dean cover art as the actual music. But this fucking record smokes. And it's funny because if I tell you it's like a hard rock record with like a lot of trumpets and a lot of strings, you're gonna envision like, if you don't envision like Blood, Sweat, and Tears, then you're gonna be envisioning like Chicago, like early Chicago. Yeah, no, you're gonna be way off base, you know. You're like, is it like the Ides of March maybe? I suppose it's a little closer, but this record rocks, you know. The Ides of March are pretty good though. But yeah, it's a great record. I have this association with it. A friend of mine, when I first moved to San Francisco, a friend of mine whose name was Darren, actually. It's not impossible he's watching, but like, I don't know, we probably smoked a little marijuana, and we like pulled up this record and talked about it. And somewhere on the thing it has their, yeah, the quote is, that, you know, they had these cheesy ass interviews with the bands on these 60 records. He's like, "We were a rock group," states Lewis firmly. "No, I don't mean rock and roll. Do me a favor." And so what Darren started doing was he'd take that phrase, "do me a favor," which was already really funny, and start like substituting it in for the lyrics in the songs. Yeah, good time. Like, I try and do an impression of it, but with the other fucking record playing, it's kind of impossible. Yeah. Anyway, that's about all I had to talk about for this video. Really, it feels like a short one, but yeah, all this other shit, I mean, this other shit would just be Blue Oyster Cult shit. So, y'all kind of heard me talking up about that last time around. Let's try and see if there's anything else I want to hype through real quick before I sign off. Yeah, whatever. Not really. I'll just show the Demon Pack 45 again real quick because it's so fucking good. There you go. One of the greatest fucking records ever. In fact, fuck it, I'll just throw it on. I think other people have talked about this one, though. I don't know if I've ever heard anyone talk about that Battle Axe. I don't know about Dawn Watcher either. These guys sound like if the Stranglers, at their snottiest, were a metal band. That's what fucking Demon Pact sounds like. And I've loved this since the first time I heard it. Like, this is what I wish the Stranglers sounded like. And, like, I can hang with the Stranglers the way they were. I think the last time I played this in a video, like, I got a copyright claim on it. So if there's an ad, it wasn't my fault. It was the fucking band's fault. Yeah, look at that, though, man. Like, fucking, how can you not need this in your collection to see it? Let's check out the band photo on the back, too. It actually doesn't completely suck, you know? They don't look super tough or anything, but, you know, it doesn't look phony like how they usually look, which is why I generally don't like band photos, so. Alright, I'm gonna sign off. Thanks for watching. And yeah, it was an unusually geeky episode this time. See you soon.